welcome back to my channel. I have a full face tutorial for you today, and this is kind of a holiday, a little bit glam kind of look, a little bit more than everyday stuff, but it's not holiday like everyone else is doing right now with golds and greens. It's a warmer kind of look with some more like fall type colors, but I really like the way that it came out. I wore this for Thanksgiving. I absolutely love the way that it turned out, so I wanted to recreate it for you guys. I hope you guys like this tutorial. We are going to do full face, but I will have one eye done, so hopefully it's a little bit quicker. And yeah, let's get into the tutorial. We're gonna zoom in for some eye action, and I actually stayed in frame for eyeliner this time, right? I don't even know if I've ever done that on my channel, but I stay in frame, so I was really excited about that. Okay, let's get to the tutorial. Let's get started on the eyes. I have done one of them just to make it move a little bit quicker, and I did my brows, and I do have just under my brow, I always kind of highlight under there with my, what are you, $1 Billion Brow Duo pencil like this. And I just use the highlight side, but I mean, Milani has one. They're all over the place. You can get anything like that. Then I'm going to take my eye primer. This is the Mica Beauty Cosmetics eye primer. Whatever you use to prime your eye, whether it's the e.l.f. one, Milani. I like this one because it's a little bit thicker than something like those are. The e.l.f. one's really sheer, but this one's a little bit thicker. I've never used a paint pot, so I don't know if it's comparable to that or what, because I've never used it, so I can't make that judgment. Okay, and we're gonna get going. And you guys know the MakeupGeek shadows have been like my favorite things recently, so I'm absolutely loving these. So that's what we're using today. Here's my color palette, and I'm going to start with this shade here, which is Peaches and Cream. Yes, maybe? Yes, okay. And I'm taking my Sigma E40. It's just a fluffy blending brush. And there's gonna be a lot of back and forth because that's how you blend. You have to go back and forth. So I'm just gonna take this kind of above my crease. I have a lot of retail space, so there's a lot for me to work with. So I'm taking this just above there, and I'm just kind of softly blending it. I'm holding low down here. I'm not holding like up here because that'll make it heavier. My eyebrow looks kind of wonky, huh? And I'm just kind of softly blending it, you know, in and out of there. Let me fix my brow because that's going to bother me. Next, I'm going to go in with my Sigma E25. It's a little bit more precise than the E40 is. I think I've talked about this before on my channel, that you can see the E25 is not as fluffy as the E40 is. And I think there's one in between them and probably an E30 something, but I don't own it, but I love the E25. It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna go into the MakeupGeek shadow in Poppy. It's this beautiful orange color, which is so intimidating, but it's amazing on the, like in the crease. And this color is really potent, so I'm just kind of barely going in, tapping it off. And I'm gonna do this as like my next layer. So I'm gonna turn my brush a little bit. And again, I'm holding low down on my brush. When you hold up here, it's gonna be harder of an application. When you're down here, you're a little bit more feathery about it. So I'm holding low down on my brush, and I'm just gonna start to sweep that into my crease. My light's not on. Does that make it better? And you can start to see that orange color coming in there. And again, we go back and forth. We're just laying some color down now, so just so we have an idea of where we're working. And very lightly there. Okay, one more crease shade. I'm going to go in with the Morphe M412. This is even more precise. As you can see, this is pointed, so this is really going to get into that crease. And I'm going to take the shade Bitten, which is one of my favorite MakeupGeek shades, and I'm just getting it like on the tip there. I'm not getting it like on the side. I'm just kind of getting it on the tip, tapping it off, and again holding down low, and I'm just gonna start to sweep that right into my crease. See how that's laying down in there? Beautiful. Bringing that in. This is a super warm look. I absolutely love it. I wore this for Thanksgiving. But you can totally wear this like for anything really, or even just a holiday look, or it's just a little bit of a glamorous kind of look because we're using the metallic type colors. All right, next what I'm going to do is to work onto the eyelid. I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Iced Mocha. So it looks like this. It's this beautiful brown color. And I'm going to take this all over the mobile lid. Okay, so you can see I'm just, but not going up into the crease. I'm stopping at that Bitten color. I'm actually even stopping a little bit lower than that so I can blend it up into that, because I don't want it to go there. And if you need to use your finger to kind of blend it, you can. These are pretty like just by themselves or as bases or whatever. So I highly recommend these. I think they're really, really great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a flat shader brush. See how flat this is? It's not like a fluffy, like this is the e.l.f. brush. You can see how it's kind of like a little bit fluffier. This is like just a very flat shader brush. Something like a concealer brush would be good for this, but these are just really great for packing down color. I'm going to go into the MakeupGeek Duochrome in Steampunk, and I'm only putting this on one side of my brush because I actually end up flipping it and using the other side for the next shade. But I'm just taking some of it onto one side of my brush, tapping it off, and then I'm just gonna stamp this onto the outer corner, just to lay it down there. Excuse me while I concentrate. Okay, and you can see that color is there. I'm going to flip my brush over to the clean side, and I'm going to go into the MakeupGeek Foiled Shadow in Flamethrower, and I'm gonna lay that down next. So that was like the outer third. Now we're gonna go into like the center third, and we're gonna stamp that color down. If you need to go into more, go ahead. And I know it looks kind of like crazy right now, but we are gonna blend it all together. I just wanna get the colors down. So there you go. Just be careful not to get the Steampunk that's on the other side up into that crease as you're stamping, because that can kind of happen. If you need to clean it off in between, you can. And now I'm gonna take another brush. It's the same brush, but it's a clean version of it, or if you just wanna clean that brush off, you can. And I'm gonna go into the Foiled Eyeshadow in Grandstand, which is a really beautiful color. And I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put that on the inner third. And I'm really just pressing it in just to stamp it on top of that iced mocha color. So now it should look a little bit crazy like that, and we want to blend the colors so that they transition smoothly from lightest to darkest. So what I kind of do is like feather it into the other color, and then you're just going to keep going back and forth between them just so you get it the way you want it to look. So you're stamping now, I'm stamping a little bit of the Flamethrower, a little bit on top of the Grandstand, but doing it a little bit lighter and kind of feathering away from it. So it's getting some product there, but it doesn't look heavy. And then the same thing into the Steampunk, is I'm gonna put a little bit of that Flamethrower out there, flip over to the Steampunk, and we just kind of go back and forth until it's how you want it to look, how it transitions very smoothly. But that's kind of what blending is you have to go back and forth, and sometimes the look isn't quick when you want it to transition very seamlessly. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I am now gonna go backwards in my transition colors in my crease. So I'm gonna take my Morphe M412 and Bitten and a little bit of that, and we're gonna sweep that into the crease, and that's going to clean up some of those edges there, so that it makes them nice and smooth. And now I am holding a little bit higher up to give a little bit heavier of an application there. Okay, next I'm going to go in with my Sigma E25 into Poppy, the orange shade, and we're going to dust this I'm a little bit lower. Whew, that was intense, that was intense. Take my finger, kind of brush some of that off, hold a little bit lower, sometimes that happens, and start to dust it in. If you need to, you can use your finger to blend it out, or I'm going to go with my Sigma E40 into Peaches and Cream and dust that over there, and that'll take some of that orange down if you've gone a little ham like I just did. Okay. So that's really it for there. Oh, I'm just going to take a flat shader brush. This is my Coastal Scents brush, and I'm going to go to MakeupGeek's Mirage, which is just like a cream color, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone. So I'm just doing this right at the arch to give a lifted look. And then what I'm gonna do, this, I didn't put any additional product on it. You can even clean it off if you want to. And I'm just gonna dust the edge there, or you can use another kind of fluffy brush, just so it all blends together. So we have our nice transition going from dark to light there, and it's all seamless. All right, I'm gonna zoom you guys out. No, let's stay here. We're not gonna zoom out, we're close. We're getting to know each other, let's do this. I am going to take a primer. I'm kind of going between primers right now, just kind of using what I have around. I just finished one off. So let's just take, this is my NYX Q10 Renew. I don't even know if this is really a primer, but I have it here and I want to use it up, so let's do it. So I'm going to take this all over my face, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of the NYX Dark Circle Eraser, or Dark Circle Concealer, and this is in the shade Light. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and use this right under my eye to kind of brighten it, to get rid of any dark circles. I like to do this before, because I am gonna do some brightening and whatnot with concealer, but I do like to do this before I even put my foundation on, just to get a base layer of concealing under there. Whoops. Okay. Next I'm going to go into my foundation, and I grabbed two because I think one's a little bit dark for me. But again, it's just some stuff that I'm trying to use up. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, and I'm going to do a pump of that right onto my beauty blender. I'm wondering if that's a little dark for me. I don't know. And I'm going to do a pump of my NYX HD Photogenic, Studio Photogenic. I haven't used the NYX one the e.l.f. one in a while, so I don't remember if I like it or not. And I'm gonna dab this all over my face, but we'll see. We'll see how it works with this look. Okay, I am gonna cover this little doodad up in a moment, but let's get to concealing. I'm gonna take my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Porcelain, and I'm going to apply this under the eye to brighten under there, squeezing a little bit out as I go. And then we're just gonna go in with our beauty blender again and just blend that bad boy out. To conceal this little guy, I didn't pull anything out, but let me grab something real quick. I'm going to grab my Disappearing Ink from Pure Minerals in the shade Light, which sometimes I use this to highlight my under eye, or not even highlight, just conceal under there. But I'm gonna dab that there and kind of let it sit for a moment, just to set. And while that's happening is I'm going to go into my, you're over here, my Anastasia Banana Powder with my Beauty Blender, and I'm just stamping into that. And I am going to set my under eye. Other parts of my face is I'm just going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte But Not Flat. And this is in Silky Beige, and again I'm just going in with my Beauty Blender, and I'm just gonna dab this. You can set, like if you want to set your nose with a brighter, like a lighter color, you can do that. This is more close to like my skin tone, but if you want to set that with like a lighter color, sometimes I do that as well. Alright, now I'm gonna dab where my little blemish is, and sometimes you have to do like layers of it, and I am taking my Beauty Blender into some of the powder and kind of going over it. It's not perfect, but it's not super. For my contour, I'm just going to go in with an angle brush. They're my favorite way to contour. This is the Sigma E40. And I'm just gonna go into, this is Serenity Scott's The Hamptons, I wanna say, yeah. And it's just a taupey color. This is also NYX Taupe, which is also a great color. I like that one as well. Whatever you like to use to contour. And I'm just going to run this right here. For blush, I am going to take my Becca Afterglow palette, and I'm going to use the shade, again a blush brush, Wild Honey, which is this shade right here. This is sold individually. So I'm going to take some of that and dust it on the cheeks. This is just a Sonia Kashuk kind of blush brush. I love this blush. I love this way more than I thought that I would. That looks like I went ham. I kind of did. All right, let me get some on this cheek and then we're going to balance it. I went crazy on my blush. Yeah, let's, no additional product, just blending. Just blending. And sometimes what you could do too is take your beauty blender over it because it's damp. It'll try to get rid of some of the pigment of it. I am going to also, I'm going to take a different brush this time. This is just another contour type brush. And I'm going to go into the shade Flower Child just because I love that color too. And I'm just going to brush that just to give a little bit extra like warmth to the face on the cheekbone. And then for highlight, I am going to use the highlight that's in here, which is Moonstone. And I'm just going to take it on this brush once I clean it off. This is my Real Techniques setting brush. And you guys, I thought I lost this. Like, I could not find this. Dusting this on the cheekbones. I could not find this brush forever. Like, I was looking for it and looking for it. It fell into one of my drawers, and that's why I couldn't find it. But I was like, I know I own this. Where is it? Why can't I find it? And I was looking everywhere for it. And then I finally randomly found it, which is really exciting. Tab on the nose. You can do a little bit above the eyebrow. You can even do a little bit right up here if you want to. Give a little oomph up there. To this eye off camera, again, to keep things moving quickly and to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. So let's finish up this eye. I'm gonna go in with this brush. It's just a flat shader brush. I actually got this at the craft store from Michael's. It's a Royal and Landnickel brush, but Royal and Landnickel actually makes makeup brushes also, so their quality of brushes is really good. This is the either number 6 or Z73CB, and you know, just a couple bucks over there. So I'm going to go into, I'm basically going to do the same thing that I did on the lid on the lower lash line. I'm going to go into Steampunk with a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm going to stamp this into the outer third, kind of out here, and just kind of wiggle it in right at the lash line there. I'm keeping it really tight. I'm going to clean that brush off. I said that so weirdly. I am using my Vera Mona color switch. You can use a hair bun, a towel, whatever you have to use. I'm going to go into Flamethrower again using the same brush, and I'm going to do that in the middle. And like I said, we're just mimicking exactly what we did on the lid. So then we're going to take a little bit of that Grandstand, same thing. And, you know, you kind of want to blend them all together. Make sure that they're all, you know, transitioning smoothly from one to the other. Just like that. And then I'm going to go in with my Sigma E21. It's just a little smudger brush. I'm going to go into the shade Bitten. And a little bit of that, because this is potent. And I'm going to run this right underneath those shades to kind of blend them and kind of smoke out the lower lash line a little bit. So we're just going to blend them. I'm not blending it all the way into the inner corner, but a good part of the way. And then I'm just going to take a pencil brush. This is one that I got from, CVS. And I'm just going to run it to soften the line under there. I'm going to take my NYX Slide On Glide On eyeliner, and this is in the shade Jewel, I think it is. Yeah, Jewel. And it's just a burgundy type color, and I'm going to pull down here to just line my inner waterline. You don't have to do this. If you want to do a nude, you can to brighten it. You can also do a black to make it look smokier, whatever you want to do. I actually don't even know if this color makes a huge difference. It's a really pretty color, but it doesn't always pay off the best in my waterline. So I'm gonna run that there. Then for the upper lid is I'm going to use my Kat Von D Tattoo eyeliner in Trooper, and it's just a pen. I'm not doing any kind of wing or anything. You certainly can, and I might have on the day that I actually wore this, did do a wing. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of stamp this, and I'm gonna try my hardest to stay in frame because I know I never ever do. So I'm just gonna kind of run this right along my lash line. So far so good in frame. And I'm just running it right along. And bringing it into the inner corner. How are we doing? Good? Good. We're in. Perfect. And like I said, I'm not doing any kind of crazy wing. You certainly can, but I just want to make sure that I just have a nice evened line all the way from one edge to the other edge, just like that. Okay, I am going to curl my lashes, apply some mascara. I'm going to use my Full Lash Bloom from CoverGirl, and then I'm going to put on a false lash. These are the Katy Perry by Eyler in Punk Princess. They're just a flared out kind of lash like that, so I'm going to speed through this. Oh, and I'm using my Revlon Precision Lash Glue with the black lid. Okay, enjoy the music. The eye look, I'm just going to go in with the shade In the Spotlight with a really small flat brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm just going to apply it to the inner corner to brighten it up and just give a little bit of shine right in there. And there you go. Now if you need to go over your lash band, the tattoo liner is really great for that. For the lips, I did a lip combo before. So what I'm gonna do is line my lips using the Milani lip liner in 09, what are you, Spice. So I'm just gonna line. Here is your finished look. I hope you guys like this tutorial. It is festive. It's not the festive like everyone else is doing right now with golds and greens and red lips and everything, but it's kind of a little bit more of a glamorous look. I did wear it for Thanksgiving. I think it's a beautiful fall look, but I just think it's a really pretty look in general. And you guys know any of the tutorials that I've done lately using my MakeupGeek shadows, I absolutely love them. I do have a link down below if you're interested in purchasing any of them. It is an affiliate link, so I do earn a percentage of anything that is bought. So if you don't feel comfortable doing that, just go to MakeupGeek.com and you can purchase through that. But I definitely love these. I'm not just recommending them because I have an affiliate link with them. I was using them for a long time before that. So definitely love them. Love the way that this look came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give this video a giant thumbs up. It truly helps me out. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! My channel, I have my BoxyCharm and Ipsy bags opening unboxings for you today.